So I used to be a professional basketball player, and then I had like a lot of knee surgeries that led to me not being able to play anymore, unfortunately. And then, yeah, my dreams got crushed really fast. I made a little bit of money. I made like 5 or 10K from it, but then I lost everything like within the next week of just gambling it away. Um, I then hit 10K. Nothing changed. Like literally nothing changed. I didn't have a nicer car. I didn't really have a nicer apartment. Yeah, I traveled that. If you quit, you fail. If you never quit, you never fail. You can achieve anything there is to achieve. When it came to other people, I had a lot of people who were like vicious about the growth that I was having. So if I was to restart, like let's say today, and I had to give like one advice, of course I'd say.
All right, so who are we here with? Hello.
Kyran.
Kyran, very nice to meet you. So how is it that you started with your entrepreneurial career?
Yeah, my entrepreneurial career, I was just speaking about it a little bit before. I used to be a professional basketball player, and then I had like a lot of knee surgeries that led to me not being able to play anymore, unfortunately. But I do think that that like created me into the man that I am today, into the entrepreneur, let's say, that I am today, because it taught me like discipline, my motivation, all of that. And then I started about like 2.5, 3 years ago in a state of like, I would say like every entrepreneur goes through like this state of where you have nothing, where you're at like complete zero, where you struggle to even like go out, pay for a coffee, something like that. And that's where I found myself in. And I was like, look, I just can't be in this situation anymore. I can't live like this. I cannot do anything. So then I went down this rabbit hole of looking on YouTube.
Right.
And then I eventually found like people doing like agencies and stuff like that, and then that really like pulled my energy towards it. I was like, all right, I can do this. I didn't need a lot of capital to start. I didn't need to spend that much money to get going. And that's when I started my agency, and that's like 3.5 years ago, and that's where we are today, still running the agency, still pushing it to this day.
3.5 years ago, you started then with your entrepreneurial career.
Yeah, like 3.5 years ago, I would say like 3 years ago. How it kind of went is that I was looking on YouTube, right? So I started with looking at like e-com drop shipping.
Right.
Like I think everyone looks at that. And I noticed I didn't have enough money. I then was like, okay, like what do I do? So then I looked at like at that moment NFTs. I'm not sure if you like know what it
Of
was,
course.
but like it was like booming at that time. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna become a millionaire off of NFTs and selling these pictures.
Right.
And then yeah, my dreams got crushed really fast. I made a little bit of money. I made like 5 or 10K from it, but then I lost everything like within the next week of just gambling it away. And then I finally stumbled upon the agency, and that's where we are still to this day, like scaling the agency, doing the agency, and
Tell me a
yeah,
little bit about the agency then. So what exact agency are you doing currently?
yeah, good question. So what I do is basically lead generation for construction companies in the US. So a lot of construction companies, like blue collar companies, they don't necessarily know how to get more leads, more jobs, more customers through the door. So we take care of that for them. We boost their revenue by generating them more clients that they potentially can get, maybe like a roof done, a backyard done, landscaping, windows, all of these type of stuff, and we help them generate them more clients.
Right.
So
Okay.
very straightforward business.
Right, and then you said you've been already 3 years, which means you already have a lot of experience in it. So right now, where do you find yourself? Do you feel like you're happy with what you've accomplished? You have more goals that you still need to get to?
Yeah, happy is like I don't think anyone is truly happy. I think you more become content
The way you've done.
with what
Right.
you've done and where you're at. Because at every single milestone, you're always going to find a new challenge ahead.
Right.
So what I mean with that is my initial 0 to 10K was like the biggest challenge ever. I wanted to make 10K. I thought if I would hit 10K, my life would change and the entire universe would like bend different.
Right.
I then hit 10K, nothing changed. Like literally nothing changed. I didn't have a nicer car. I didn't really have a nicer apartment. Yeah, I traveled a little bit, but like that's about it, right? I could just afford that coffee that I couldn't.
Why do you think that most people want to reach that 10K goal? What do you think it represents?
Like freedom, I think, is what it represents for a lot of people. A lot of people are, and this is not a bad thing, but a lot of people are stuck in like a 9 to 5 where they cannot reach a higher percentile. They cannot get paid more. They might get paid $1,000 or 2,000, 5,000, whatever they get paid, right? They cannot like increase. So I think that $10,000 mark, I think, is like for them. It's if I was to make this per month, my life would be free. I could do whatever I want, whenever I want, and have that like freedom of like location freedom,
Right.
time freedom of even today, right? Meeting up today, you can't do that in a 9 to 5.
It's true.
So I think that's where
Where
a
that
lot
comes
of
from.
people look at like that 10K mark and go like, I really want to hit that number because it's
Mhm.
more the freedom behind it, being able to leave your house and do stuff
Mhm.
that you cannot experience if you're like
Mhm.
locked in. A lot of people like cringe in a way, but that rat
Right.
race of day in day out doing the same stuff.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, a lot of people that are watching this as well, they want to reach that 10K goal. But of course, I mean, money is not everything, right? It's just, as we spoke before, it's one part of the equation. So I guess for you, when you hit that 10K, what did you feel and what did you want to accomplish after that?
Yeah, when I hit that 10K, I realized that money was. Now, don't get me wrong, respect money. Money is what moves the world around. So I feel like you should respect money as much as the opportunities that it can create for yourself.
Right.
But another way around it is money is just printed. Banks are just printing it. It's there for everyone to be able to
Yep.
like
It's all
take,
perspective. Yeah.
right? So that 10K mark just showed me that there's so much more out there.
Mm.
So when I did hit 10K, I was like, oh, this isn't that much,
Right.
right? I wanted a really nice car. Oh, I can't buy
Can't
that
afford
really
it.
nice car.
Right.
I wanted a really nice watch. Oh, I can't buy that
Yeah.
nice watch. So then it was like, it put my perspective in like, oh, people who make 10K are actually not rich.
Hmm.
It's just like a perceived
Yeah. It's
rich
perceived
from
that
like
way. Yeah. It's true.
people. So I was like, well, let me see what I can like do to try to go for
Hmm.
more. And
Love
every
it.
single milestone just made me want to hit like a new milestone again and again and again
Hmm.
until basically today. And I'm still thriving to try to do more.
Love it, love it.
So
And the agency that you had, you've scaled up with these last 3 years. Is there any other venture that you're currently running apart from it, or do you
yeah,
have any?
I run a coaching program as well
Mhm.
for aspiring agency owners to be. So whoever wants to try to like one or scale their agency to where I've scaled it to, or get into the agency space,
Mhm.
I do that as well.
Mhm.
So I run both my coaching program and my agency at the same time. And eventually, I would love to grow that to as big as possible, both of them. One, change as many lives with the coaching as possible and actually do it properly. Scale the agency and change lives from construction companies and their families and their stuff. But eventually, I would love to create something that I can feel in person,
Right,
where I
right,
can like walk in and be like, ah, this is mine.
right.
And I'm
Mhm.
maybe selling a product or maybe manufacturing a product or I don't know, or boring business
Mhm.
somehow, right?
Mhm.
Because we're in the online game, but there's a lot of boring businesses making way more money.
It's crazy.
I would love to have something that I can like touch, feel, see in person. Because right
Mhm.
now it's just numbers
It's not
on
enough.
a computer.
Yeah. What made you go into that business of construction?
So I target construction companies. The reason why is because they're like blue collared older men in a way who
Mhm.
don't understand the digital space, who don't
Right.
know how to generate more work for themselves through the online, right? So,
Mhm.
for example, you're around my age, right? Think about your father using the internet and stuff like that.
Right.
Like he's probably
It's always
super
the same.
slow. He's
Yeah.
probably like
Tech,
doesn't
not that tech
understand what he's
savvy.
doing. You
Hmm.
know, so I decided, you know what, like that's the easiest person to sell to because he's just gonna be like, I don't know how to do this. Let me hire someone to do this for me, and then they'll
Hmm.
pay a good amount of money
Hmm.
for something that yes is difficult, but it's not as difficult as like it really is if you understand the online space. So you're basically just selling your expertise to these people
Hmm.
to solve an issue inside of their business. And then sometimes they do know how to do it, but they're just big enough to the point where they don't have time to do it. And you come in and you're the middleman and you provide that service for them. That's why.
Okay. And in terms of the mentorship, just for the sake right now, people that might be interested as well, what is it exactly that you offer in your mentorship?
I offer like a one-to-one mentorship on helping you one scale your agency, learn everything there is to learn about basically like lead gen, starting your agency, scaling your agency. Let's say you're already at like 10, 20K per month, you scale it basically to the numbers that I've hit. So it's really tailored around every single person one-to-one, helping them
Scale their
scale their
agencies per se.
agencies, maybe get
Okay.
into their agencies, maybe want to change
But in
their
general, all type of agencies, or is it
yeah,
just
all types of agencies
okay?
like lead gen. There's some that are like e-com agencies. There are some that are maybe like content agencies, like
Mhm.
all sorts.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Perfect. I'll link the YouTube of his channel, and you
thank you.
guys can have a look there. And in regards of your milestones now that you've built up your mentorship, your agency, what are you now trying to accomplish?
What I'm trying to accomplish is I want to hit bigger revenue goals. So I would love to get to like $1 million months. I feel like that is the next massive goal. And then I want to become more of an entrepreneur in a way where I have more tangible businesses
Mm-hmm.
to the point of being able to fuel them. So I know like with the businesses that I do, if I just keep on scaling them, I can get to that number.
Right.
But I would like to make something that is maybe a longer term vision, 10, 15, 20 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
where if I start building that today, it'll still be carrying over to when I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
and that I might, like when I'm raising my children or stuff like that, that I don't have to like think too much or too hard on how the money's coming in, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what I want to do, and I want to be able to feel what I'm working on, see what I'm working on, be able to walk into the business and be like, okay, like this is what we're building and this is what we're doing. So yeah,
Nice.
that's kind of like the next goal is what I want to
Nice.
do and achieve. Yeah.
How important, because I mean you've definitely built something big and impactful here. So how important was it for you along the journey to surround yourself with the right people?
Yeah, actually, very good question. Is I always wanted to surround myself with the right people, but I kept on feeling like I got backstabbed by the right people. So I think it's very important to surround yourself with the right people. But luckily enough, I actually had my fiance, and we're like a really good team. So we really push each other and we're there for each other. When it came to other people, I had a lot of people who were like vicious about the growth that I was having. So that was unfortunate, but I still have like high hopes in finding good friends and stuff like that, which I do. I have like my brother as well that's very close to me. Basically, for me, I've grown more with, I would call them family, my brother and my fiance, rather than growing with other friends. So for me, it was like more like internally. Now, of course, I have 2 or 3 really close friends that have been there with me along the way. But actually, I made those friends when we were both growing at the same time. And I lost friends that were vicious, who unfortunately didn't want the best for me because they were maybe jealous about the growth or stuff like that. And that happens to a lot of people. Your day ones.
True.
I wish that they would think like me. Like I always said it. Like, I find it a shame that you guys are like that. But like, not everyone will believe in the vision that you have for you. So if you can find like 1 or 2 people, that's more than enough to be able to achieve like whatever you want in the world.
No, I agree 100%. I mean, having the right people around you will definitely push you to the next level. Not just because they trust you and you trust them, but because it's the only way to out leverage the fact that there's other competition. There's other people also doing that, right? So what actually caught my attention to your answer is the fact that you said family. I think that's one of the values that we stand up here in Gentle Entrepreneurs is that we're not just here for the money. It's also about the impact that we will have in the world and the impact we will have around the people we care the most.
Yeah.
So when you said your wife and your brother, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. But tell me, when did you meet your wife, for example?
Kind of to answer that question
Tell me.
again is like most having a baby soon, a little girl. So it's like your kind of your energy, your passion for what you're trying to grow is going to be towards like bringing those people up with you rather than other people, let's say, right? So I'm really big family orientated. I know like me and my brother are like this, like we work together, we do stuff together, we scale together. If I can do something, I'm going to bring him along. If he does something, he's probably going to bring me along, you know. And it's the same with my wife. And yeah, that's what I'm kind of building to. I think every single entrepreneur needs to find their why and for kind of who. Like, of course, you're doing it for yourself,
Right.
but sometimes if you're doing it also for the people around you, it can motivate you just a little bit more of like, I'm not just living this life for myself, I'm maybe living this life for maybe your future wife that you're going to find like later on, or the future family that you're going to have. How would you like to live? Like, are you living now, or?
You said you have a very, very good relationship with your brother. What would you say for people out there that have also brothers, but maybe they don't get along that well? What would you suggest?
Me and my brother have had rocky periods, and I've heard this quote one time, so I won't take it, but sometimes it can all be with your partner or with your brother or sister. One person will be running and one person will still be walking or will be sitting, right? And sometimes that's not a bad thing. Like if you're ahead of the other one, it's not a bad thing. Just know that like always just pull him with you. And then if you're going to pull him with you, eventually he's going to bypass you and then he's going to pull like that. So if you have that type of bond, you can grow so much faster than just not having a good relationship with your brother or sister because they might have done something to you or you were pissed off. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, make up, it's your blood. Use that bond. Like, there's no other bond in this world that's stronger than that. So use that bond and keep on pulling each other forward. If one is making millions and the other one's making nothing and he's in debt, go help him out because he might help you in the future when you need something.
It's true.
Because money isn't always the thing
Yeah.
either. So I think you should always be looking out, because you never know at what point in your life you might need that hand that's always been there for you.
Absolutely. And you mentioned also your wife. When did you meet your wife?
Well, it's my fiance, so I met her like 4.5 years ago.
How important was she for you and your success, would you define?
Yeah, super important. When I met her, we were still nobodies, but like we were nobodies. We didn't have no money. We were living in an apartment that I wouldn't really be happy
Right.
living in today. We had nothing. Like I said before, like I couldn't even bring her to go drink a coffee. I couldn't buy her flowers. I couldn't do anything. So it was a huge success, because as a man, you feel, at least I think this, and I think every man should, but everyone's their own opinion. I think like you should be a provider as a man. You should be providing for you and your family and your wife. And that's what hit me the most. I was like, okay, now I'm with her, but I'm not really a provider because I have nothing. Right. So she was there in the times that we had nothing, and she's still there. And she's like one of the key factors is pushing me. Like when I get down, she's there to push me back up. It's the same thing like I was saying before with my brother. Like we're there working on us and our family together. You don't really need to be doing it for anyone else. So she was a massive factor in my growth.
In that case, now tell me a little bit about legacy that you want to leave behind, because that's another thing that we believe with entrepreneurship and in general business. You don't want to just make money and that's it, leave. You want to actually make a long lasting impact. So for you, how would you like to maybe be remembered once you pass?
It's a good question. I haven't thought about it that much, but one way I'd like to be remembered is able to be there for someone that might have not had that person when growing up. So I would like to be like more of a role model to maybe like younger entrepreneurs or people who are in the same aspect of life as I am, that I didn't have back in the day. So like I told you before, like a lot of friends have left me and stuff like that. I would like to be kind of that role model to younger men, younger boys, guys, whatever, on that this is possible, you can achieve whatever, and just have a kind heart. I think money is a lot of stuff, but I think more like the legacy you leave behind on the person that you are is more important than anything else.
Person you become in the
Yeah,
journey.
and I'm not a big person of like showing off or flexing or stuff like that. So I don't think it'll ever be like a money type of legacy. It'll more just be like, I know that me, my family, and the close ones are all taken care of,
Right.
and that will be my biggest achievement.
You mentioned something important there. So we want to be viewed as somebody that helps younger generation and actually helps them go out of the comfort zone and of course start their own businesses. So what would you say is one proper advice you've amassed throughout these years that you could give to them right now?
Super easy, never quit. You can never fail. As easy as that. If you quit, you fail. If you never quit, you never fail. You can achieve anything there is to achieve. It's that easy. If you just keep on pushing, eventually something will click and it'll work. But if you quit, it'll never work. I'm a big never quit mentality, and I'll just keep on pushing until it works. If it takes you 1 year and maybe it takes me 5 years, so be it. It'll take me 5 years, but I'll get to where I want to get.
What type of person do you think you have to be? What values do you have to be that person and never quit?
Kind of like I said before with the you need to find your why,
Right.
is I think you should go first, sit down with yourself and understand the person that you want to become. Why you're doing it. You cannot just do it just to do it. Some dude online said go do it. You have to find the fuel and the fire inside of yourself to go and want to achieve something. Once you understand that and you write it down on a piece of paper or wherever you want to write it down or your mind, that's your like North Star. That's your one goal.
Right.
And you go achieve that. If you then achieve it, you can then find another goal. But usually while on that journey, there's going to be different stuff that come your way anyways that you don't even think about it. Like that goal will probably just become the next one and next one and next one. But to start out is always the hardest, because you need to unlearn a lot of habits you previously had, and you have to push through boundaries that you don't think you can push through and deal with stuff that you've never dealt with before that a normal person doesn't go through. That's my like biggest advice is like, just do it.
Right.
Like, just do it. It's as easy as it sounds. It really is that, because I feel like, I think anyone can make 10, 20K per month. Anyone. Now, okay, after that, maybe not, but I think anyone can make that money because it's out there.
If someone were to be starting right here, what would you say is, in your opinion, your experience, the fastest, most efficient way to get to that 10 to 20K a month?
Like everyone says, is solve a problem and then have the solution to solving that problem. So whatever problem you might see in the world. So for example, the problem that I solved was construction businesses didn't have enough clients and they needed to grow. So I solved that issue by generating them more leads and more clients for their business. But it can be anything, It can, like right now where we're sitting, it's a nice hotel. they might have a problem that you can solve, which they'll pay a lot of money for. You just don't know what it is, but if you can crack that, you can make a lot of money.
Okay. And to that, how do you think is the best way to find an actual market need?
I would say look around and try to like pick up on stuff throughout your days that like you might see that are going wrong or that are going right. So for example, you might be working a job right now, or you might be doing something inside of a work somehow or whatever, right? Try to understand like, okay, like in my current life, like how could I maybe make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 to try to get like some sort of capital so I can start something else. There's always like someone you know or in close proximity that you can like go to, solve a problem, do a service and get paid for it, and take that money to start something else.
Right.
It's always your first 1, 2, 3,000 that's the hardest. After that it comes easy. And then like to answer your real question, if I was to restart, like let's say today, and I had to give like one advice, of course I'd say start an agency because you're solving an issue for businesses, generating them more clients.
Yeah, and another thing I believe with service is most of the time minimal startup costs as well.
Nearly none.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's more about seeing, understanding what do you have? You have time. So you have to leverage that time by giving those services whatever you have that other people that maybe have that money can invest in
100%.
you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's amazing. Well, Kyran, it's been a pleasure
Thank you.
having you here. As I said, guys, the link will be down in the description. And yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much for your time. So we'll speak
you.
with each other. Take care, man.